Importance of reading for learning English. Reading is one of the most powerful tools for learning and mastering English, especially for those striving to achieve fluency. Here's why. Vocabulary expansion. Reading exposes you to a wide range of words, phrases, many of which you might not encounter in everyday conversation. The more you read, the more words you learn, helping you to express yourself more clearly and precisely. Improved comprehension. Regular reading helps you better understand the structure and flow of the English language. It allows you to see how sentences are formed, how ideas are connected, and how different grammatical structures are used. Enhanced grammar. By reading, you subconsciously absorb grammar rules. You see how tenses are used, how prepositions function, and how complex sentences are structured. This consistent exposure helps reinforce these rules in your mind. Cultural awareness. Reading diverse materials such as novels, newspapers, and essays exposes you to different cultures, idiomatic expressions, and social norms that are integral to mastering English. Understanding these cultural nuances is crucial for fluency. Increased writing skills. As you read, you naturally start to write better. The phrases, sentence structures, and styles you see in reading can influence your writing, helping you to write more fluently and effectively. Boosted confidence. The more you read, the more confident you become in your understanding of the language. This confidence translates into better speaking and writing skills as you feel more assured in your knowledge. Critical thinking. Especially challenging texts helps develop critical thinking. You learn to analyze texts, understand deeper meanings, and think about language in more sophisticated ways, which enhances your fluency. Story. From broken English to mastery. In a small, dusty village in India, there lived a boy named Raju. Raju was the son of a farmer, and his family struggled to make ends meet. Despite their hardships, Raju had a big dream. He wanted to learn English and become fluent. He knew that mastering English could open doors to opportunities far beyond his village, where he could achieve a better life for himself and his family. But there was one problem. Raju's English was broken. He could barely string a sentence together, and the few words he knew were often mispronounced. Still, Raju was determined. He spent hours listening to the older boys in the village who had gone to the city and returned speaking fluent English. He longed to be like them, confident and articulate. One day, a man came to Raju's village. He was an English tutor from the city, and he promised to teach the villagers English fluently at a price. He approached Raju and said, "I can make you fluent in English, but you'll have to pay me." Raju's heart sank. He had no money, not even a single rupee to spare. His father's meager earnings were barely enough to buy food for the family. Dejected, Raju watched others in the village who could afford the tutor's lessons begin to learn and speak English. But Raju refused to give up. He was determined to find another way. One evening, while sitting under the shade of an old banyan tree, Raju saw a dusty, tattered book lying on the ground. It was an old English textbook that someone had discarded. The pages were yellowed and torn, but Raju's eyes lit up as he carefully picked it up. He couldn't afford a tutor, but this book could be his teacher. Every day, after helping his father in the fields, Raju would retreat to the banyan tree. With the old book, he began by reading aloud, struggling with every word, stumbling over sentences, but he persisted. Day by day, his reading improved. The book was full of short stories, simple grammar rules, and basic vocabulary. Raju read each story multiple times until he could recite them by heart. But Raju didn't just stop at reading. He started to imitate the way the characters in the stories spoke. He would practice speaking in front of the mirror, trying to mimic the dialogues he read. He noticed how the words were pronounced, how sentences flowed, and how the characters expressed their emotions. His broken English slowly began to take shape. As weeks turned into months, Raju's confidence grew. He started using the new words he learned in conversations with the villagers. At first, they laughed at his attempts, but soon they noticed how his English was improving. Encouraged, Raju sought out more books. He borrowed them from anyone who would lend them, reading everything from old newspapers to novels. He even started writing down words he didn't understand and looking them up in a dictionary he had found in the village library. One day, a visitor came to the village, a businessman from the city, looking for local produce to export. He needed someone who could speak English to help him communicate with the farmers. Raju, now more fluent and confident, stepped forward. He spoke to the businessman in clear, fluent English, surprising everyone, including the businessman himself. Impressed by Raju's English skills, the businessman offered him a job in the city. It was a dream come true for Raju. He accepted the job and moved to the city, where he continued to learn and improve his English. He bought more books, joined a language club, and even started taking part in debates and discussions. Over time, Raju's broken English was a distant memory. He had become fluent, confident, and articulate. His journey from a poor boy in a small village to a master of English was nothing short of remarkable. He didn't have money to pay for lessons, but his determination, hard work, and the power of reading transformed his life. Raju's story spread far and wide, inspiring other children in his village. They too began to pick up books and read, realizing that with determination and the right tools, they could achieve their dreams, just like Raju. This story illustrates the importance of perseverance, the power of self-learning, and the significant role that reading plays in mastering a language despite the odds. Raju's dedication to reading and practicing English led him to success, proving that even without formal education or resources, one can achieve fluency and transform their life. To deepen your fluency in English, especially through reading, it's important to engage with various practices and concepts that go beyond the basics. Here are some advanced strategies and insights. 1. Active reading. Annotation. When reading, actively engage with the text by underlining new words, phrases, and expressions. Write notes in the margins to summarize ideas or question what you've read. This process deepens comprehension and helps you remember new information. Questioning the text. Ask yourself questions as you read. Why did the author choose this word? What is the underlying message? How does this relate to what I already know? This encourages critical thinking and improves your understanding of complex English. 2. Diverse reading materials, genres, and styles. Don't limit yourself to one type of reading material. Explore different genres like fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and technical writing. Each style uses language differently, exposing you to varied vocabulary, sentence structures, and idiomatic expressions. Reading materials from different English-speaking cultures, such as British, American, Australian, or Indian English, helps you understand regional slang, colloquialisms, and cultural references, making your fluency more versatile. 3. Contextual learning. Read in context instead of memorizing vocabulary in isolation. Learn new words and phrases by reading full sentences or paragraphs. This helps you understand how words are used naturally in conversation and writing, improving your ability to use them correctly. Real-world application. Apply what you read to real-life situations. For example, if you read about negotiating in business English, try using those phrases in a mock negotiation or in an actual business setting. Reading fluency. Practice reading aloud to improve your pronunciation, intonation, and pace. This also helps with internalizing the rhythm and flow of English, making it easier to think and speak in the language. Reading comprehension. Challenge yourself with advanced texts that require a deeper level of understanding. Focus on summarizing, paraphrasing, and discussing what you've read, either with a peer or in a language group, to reinforce comprehension. Integrated skills practice. After reading, practice writing summaries, essays, or responses to what you've read. This reinforces your understanding and helps you practice using new vocabulary and structures in your own writing. Reading and speaking. Discuss what you've read with others, either in person or online. This not only improves your speaking fluency, but also helps you articulate your thoughts and opinions in English. 6. Critical reading. Analyzing literature. Engage with classic and contemporary literature. Analyze themes, characters, and plots. This deepens your understanding of complex language and helps you appreciate the nuances of English. Debates and discussions. Participate in debates or discussions about what you've read. This requires you to think critically, articulate your ideas clearly, and listen to others' perspectives, all of which are crucial for fluency. 7. Building a personal lexicon, vocabulary. Vocabulary journal. Keep a dedicated notebook where you write down new words, their meanings, and example sentences. Review this regularly and try to use the words in conversation and writing. Thematic vocabulary. Focus on learning vocabulary related to specific themes or topics, such as business, technology, or travel. This not only broadens your vocabulary, but also prepares you for specialized conversations. 8. Incorporating English in daily life. Immersive reading. Surround yourself with English through books, articles, blogs, and even social media. The more you immerse yourself in English, the more natural it becomes to think and communicate in the language. Routine reading. Make reading a daily habit. Whether it's a novel, a newspaper, or even a few pages before bed, regular reading keeps your mind engaged with the language and consistently improves your fluency. 9. Self-reflection and goal setting. Reading reflection. After finishing a book or article, reflect on what you've learned. How has your understanding of English improved? What new vocabulary have you mastered? This self-reflection helps solidify your progress and motivates you to continue. Goals. Set specific, measurable goals for your English fluency. For example, aim to read a certain number of books in English each month, or to understand and use a set number of new words. Tracking your progress keeps you focused and motivated. These strategies and practices, when combined with a dedication to reading, can significantly enhance your journey to becoming fluent in English. The key is to be consistent, challenge yourself, and engage with the language on multiple levels. Reading is not just a passive activity, it's an interactive process that builds the foundation for all other language skills.